So we're trying that one more time. Our microphone was dead. So we're going to welcome you to another edition of Discover History here at the Keys History and Discovery Center. I'm historian Brad Bertelli, and we're going to actually go live with some audio this time around. We're going to talk a little bit about some significant dates in Islamorada history. November is a big date, or a big month for some really significant occurrences here in the Islamorada, Upper Matacumbe Key area. If you do have questions, like Brandy just let us know that we had no audio, feel free to type them in, and Aaron will let me know. We'll address them while we're live. Otherwise, I will get back to them later on in the afternoon. So November 14th, 1937 is when the Florida Keys Memorial, better known as the Hurricane Monument, was presented to the public, unveiled to the public. And it was a huge affair. 4,000 or 5,000 people gathered to celebrate this unveiling. There were bands playing. There were dignitaries from all of South Florida and the Florida Keys who come in. There was even I've seen pictures of escape artists performing for the crowd, which is really interesting. In chains, and kind of performing for the people that have gathered. And what we know about the memorial is that it's 18 feet tall, kind of represents the height of the tidal surge that came roaring across the island about 8:25 on that September 2nd, 1935 date. In the wake of the storm, there were a lot of deaths associated with the hurricane and a lot of cremation sites. This is before the monument was constructed 2 years later. They had all these bodies to take care of, and this is a really cool map that we have on display at the Discovery Center, and it shows a list of not all, but a list of many of the people who perished in the hurricane. This has the total known dead at 423, which is not an accurate number. More than 50 people were found after the fact, and the total number of deaths probably closer to 500. Some people say even more. You really will never know exactly how many people died, how many veterans were in the area. The best thing that could have happened on that Labor Day weekend was that it was a holiday, and many of the veterans who were living in these work camps that were at sea level, that were just ramshackle, wood shacks and canvas tents, trying to withstand a Category 5 hurricane. Many of them had dispersed, had gone to Miami, had gone to Key West to celebrate the holiday. So no one knows for sure just how many people were in the area on that Monday evening when the storm roared ashore. But there were a great many people here. Hundreds of people lost their lives just here locally in the Islamorada area. And in order to combat some of the pestilence that could have occurred, as the decay went on in the following days, so the governor ordered that some cremation sites be made in order to deal with some of the bodies. And on this map, what we see are locations of all the cremation sites, 24 of them, between Plantation Key and Lower Matacumbe Key. And then if you look over here, it tells you a lot of names of the people who were in those sites. And the cremation sites, this is an example of one of the cremation sites that was just along the side of the overseas highway. This was in front of what was then the Caribbean Colony, which was a resort that had opened up in the early 1930s. All right. And was naturally destroyed during the hurricane. But you can see this. You can see the telephone poles in the background, indicating where the railroad tracks were. The overseas highway, which is now the old road, and so this was just kind of by the old road. And there were 24 of these sites between Plantation Key and Lower Matacumbe Key. Now, 2 years later, when the Florida Keys Memorial was completed, we have the obelisk that's 18 feet tall, plus there is a crypt, a 22-foot long crypt at the base of the obelisk of the monument. And what they did is they went back to, workers went back to all these 24 cremation sites and scooped up what remains were in there and put that debris and those remains inside the crypt and sealed it. Now, when you visit the crypt, or the monument, which is located just a mile up the road or half mile up the road, on top of the crypt there's a really beautiful mosaic that indicates, kind of shows the area of the affected area of the hurricane, which was really compact. So it shows from Key Largo basically to Marathon, Vaca Key area, Grassy Key area. But so when you walk up and you look at this really beautiful mosaic, this is the area of the hurricane. Now, I know I've taken the comp tour train down in Key West, and when you go on that train, they talk about the horrible 1935 hurricane, how it affected Key West. How it affected Key West was, I believe, 32-mile-an-hour gusts of wind, which is not, that's a summer storm. The hurricane was really compact, and the affected area was basically from Grassy Key to Key Largo. So on November 14th, 1937, they unveiled the obelisk, and that is the first anniversary date, was just passed here in Islamorada. Now, another event happened many years prior, and this is November 19th, 1822. And this is when the USS schooner Alligator wrecked offshore on what was then Matacumbe Reef, later known as the Alligator Reef, and today home to Alligator Lighthouse. Now, the Alligator Lighthouse would not be built, it was until 1873. It was one of the 6 screw pile lighthouses that were constructed along the Florida Reef to help alert passing ships to the dangers of the coral reef. Now, the first 3 lighthouses, Sand Key, Sombrero Key, and Careysport Reef Key, were all built pre-Civil War, the 1850s. Now, with the Civil War coming in, things were kind of interrupted. So the last 3 of the reef lighthouses, American Shoal, Foey Reef Light, and
I don't know my lighthouse.
And the other one I can't. And Alligator Lighthouse, the one we're talking about, were all built in the 1870s, 1880s, after the Civil War had ended. So that is the anniversary dates. Now, what's kind of cool about the Alligator Reef Lighthouse is that over the last few years, the government had an auction to give away some of these reef lighthouses that were all deactivated about 2015. And because of the upkeep was so expensive, the government wanted to give them away to nonprofits who could restore them and make them useful and beneficial for the public. And we were lucky enough here in Islamorada that Friends of the Pool, headed by Larry Harrell, who might better be known as Lighthouse Larry, who built all these really cool lighthouses that are, one of them, Alligator Lighthouse. If you want to get an up-close look at Alligator Lighthouse, you can visit Cayo Restaurant, which is just kitty corner to the Florida Keys Memorial. And this is an example of Larry's work. It's an identical, much scaled down version of the lighthouse. But also Captain Rob Dixon. And these two joined to do the swim out, the Alligator Swim, the annual Alligator Lighthouse Swim. But also they worked very diligently to get the Alligator Lighthouse to successfully bid and acquire Alligator Lighthouse, which they did, and I believe they officially got the paperwork, so it's in their hands from the government in the last couple of weeks. So they will be working now to restore the lighthouse, which will be great for locals and visitors to be able to go out and visit the lighthouse, hopefully in the years to come after it's restored and refinished. There'll be tours out there of the lighthouse, and it'll be safe, once again, safe to go out there and visit a piece of actual Florida Keys, really cool Florida Keys history. So we're thrilled that a local group has gotten the Alligator Reef Lighthouse, and then it's going to be restored and brought back to its former glory and become more accessible to the public. And so that's going to be a really fun thing to watch happen over the course of the next few years. Now next week we are going to be not presenting our Tuesday morning talk, Discover History. We're going to take a break for the Thanksgiving holiday, and then the week after that we will be back on Tuesday to talk more history here at the Keys History and Discovery Center. In the meantime, I hope you guys have a great weekend, a great week, and happy Thanksgiving. And we'll see you in a couple weeks back here at the Keys History and Discovery Center for some more Discover History. Thank you.